and importantly as well, this top esports roster can look to try and match side lanes. Handling a Yorick here might not be as difficult. Karma, Mantra, Shields get people to maneuver around the map very quickly. Actually, with Tian moving his way down to that bot side.
Yeah, looks like top esports knows that Chris and Jackie love keeping targets as well, which means that they want to play in a little bit of that shorter lane, as you were saying. Tian getting a little movement speed by popping the E, then immediately going on to Chris, who again does not have any summoner spells, and that means that first blood will be secured by Weibo. But here comes the Realm Warp as top esports want to try to make a respawn. They force the flash out of light, and it'll just be a trade of supports as Era goes down to Jackie.
But that's a lot of summoner spells committed again. It's Cream's flash going down. They do trade it for Light's flash, so we know that putting gold on Jackie Love is never a bad idea. He's been one of our more stable clutch factor players. Xiaohu here walking in.
They really want to fight this here. It's dragging down to 1,000 HP. It's stolen away by Jackie Love somehow on the Ezreal of all people. And Tian's going to go down first. It's a trade of the junglers though. And now a 3v3 has opened up. Xiaohu is very low though. He's going to have to flash over that Dragon Pit wall as Cream is looking to continue to hunt. Light still does not have that flash. Going to get hit up by the Rune Prism, but now Cream does not have any mana left. Just a couple of more spells can be issued by the Rise. Looks like they're instead target Erha here. The health bars are once again low, but Jackie Love gets taunted up, and everybody on Weibo will escape.
It could have looked a little bit better, but the fight lines are just easier for top esports. I think that Jackie Love committing onto this bot side into Xiaohu, who is definitely going to have to flash that wall, maybe means that they don't quite find a kill. The charge leading the way in, and Jackie Love got that move. Cream has as well. Top should just be able to take this. It's a smite.
Smite's Q here for Tian and make sure that red buff goes over, but here comes the Realm Warp. Cream very far forward, gonna go straight in onto Xiaohu and secure the feats of warfare for top esports, so they don't get the red buff, but they do claim a kill as their prize. Able to generate a lot of pressure here, and with 369 forced to back, maybe he can pick up the plate for himself unless top esports can respond.
Yeah. Oh my word.
Oh
okay.
wow.
Should die here. Has no flash. Not quite able to get in time.
Erha, oh wow, a lot of spells utilized and not going to be able to find
no.
anything. The Pop Blossom doesn't connect, Erha just goes down. It's going to come at the cost of a couple of plates for Weibo, but top esports get away with somehow getting a kill. The Scuttler did go to Weibo off that play.
But I do think this is really smart from top. They've sent Cream to match Breathe, which is the allocations we were talking about earlier, where they can match side lanes and match the push of the Yorick.
How aggressive do we want to go? Comet Spear goes over, but he is going to get smited away here by Kanavi. So second dragon of the game secured by top esports, and Cream, as you mentioned, going to be able to do a nice job of holding Breathe and making sure that he was a wave clear all the minions to make sure the tower doesn't go down.
Yeah, I'd like to see Tian actually just move up to this top side, try to take his turret down. You can see Cream actually 2 levels down on Breathe, knows that he can't really contest it at all. Tian moving into this top side of the map at the very least to support.
Looks like Weibo though are the ones that want to start this up because Kanavi's so low.
Yeah, they want to be able to use this Rift Herald to break open the map a little bit, give Breathe a little more room to play this side lane. TP's coming in from both sides.
Oh, they could try to lock down 369 though as he goes into a bad position and gets taunted up, and there goes Erha with a massive Pop Blossom. It takes up 3 and makes sure that 369 goes first in the fight. Now it's a 4v5 across the map as the Rift Herald gets re-aggroed by the side of Weibo Gaming. Kanavi trying to find some way to jump into the pit. The call to pack is available, but he doesn't want to use it as a one-way trip, so it gets secured by Weibo. Now Tien's looking for the community. Grand Star fall forward. They found Jackie Love without any flash, and now with only 0 HP, finally the hail of arrows is going to take him down as Light finds the kill, and another skirmish that is won by Weibo Gaming.
Just spaces out the rest of top esports, call out a couple of people initially, and then they look for this fight. They secure the smite, get the Herald, immediately fighting again.
Oh yeah, we got some tank combat here. Call to Fortune was canceled by some nice crowd control of Xiaohu, and that means that there is no extra follow-up here for top to try to continue to play. Instead, they're looking towards Cream, who just Realm Warped straight to his death. It is Xiaohu to collect the gold there.
Rest of Weibo now with a decision to make. Do they want to spend time waiting in this bot side?
He's out of position, but he's actually going to find the stun still on a 2, forcing Kanavi to flash away. True Shot Barrage doesn't find anything, but here comes the call to Forge God. He's going to knock up Tian, but he uses the H to keep himself alive for a little bit longer. Here's that hero's entrance. It does not find a knockup, and Xiaohu now has to run for the hills. Taunt lands on a 369 as everybody is here around the Dragon Pit.
They're going in.
Comes the Realm Warp. Cream is sending in the artillery, and they've taken down Light. Tian the next to follow, as it's going to be top esports picking themselves up 2 kills, and they can peel right back towards the Drake unless they want more blood here into this game. Looks like only the 2 kills is what they'll get, and they'll claim that soul point as a reward.
Fate of Weibo Gaming. Drake's going to be secured. Atacon's just spawned as well. The delicate timing on that might well indicate Top Esports picked themselves up a 2-for-1. And just like we talked about, Grapes, this is a team, a roster of players who they've been showing weaknesses. They've not been the strongest teams through the early game. But when they need to, in that clutch factor moment, they can step up. They can come into team fights.
But probably shouldn't have been in this position to begin.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking for different targets. If that pop blossoms onto Jackie and Chris, then those 2 players just die instantly, unfortunately.
Top Esports can still continuously find objectives and find fights across other areas of the map. And even now with Cream matching him, you know, it seems like there hasn't been as many towers that have been taken by Breathe in these last few minutes. It's really been Top Esports taking control. They now take out the mid-tier 1. That's their first tower of the game. And
try and handle, and Top Esports, with having the run of the rest of the map as well, can just really easily move in, shut down this Yorick, and carry on with their day as though nothing has really happened. I mean, now's this time, right? Can Weibo just use Breathe to walk up and hit this turret? And they've even got 4 members down on this bot side, and they still don't feel comfortable, right? Like, Cream is the one walking up, taking turrets, and this is really damning. Fortunately, Breathe unable to do anything of that like. It seems like they need to make a move for it. Flash as well from 369 there.
Not expecting that flash. Feel like 369 would have probably been okay there, but that's going to be a crucial summoner spell now down. No way to get in this pit.
How do they get in though, right? Erha uses flash.
Okay, Pop lost them. It finds Chris. They're going to try to stun him down, take down the Karma, but the Karma will live for so long. Finally going down, but that means the soul is controlled. 369 1v5ing and barely unable to survive, as it's going to be another kill picked up for TN. But now, Jackie Love's full HP, and Jackie Love can free hit onto the rest of Weibo Gaming. The Arcane Shift will find himself another kill, and the True Shot Barrage comes out. It's a double kill picked up for the Ezreal.
Synchronized engaged from Weibo. It's just on to the wrong person.
Now we're looking for another fight here for top. Zera is very low again. Kanavi is 6 levels up onto that Nico, and that'll be easy pickings here for Top Esports. They control the topside jungle. They control every facet of Summoner's Rift, as they now can make their way towards the Baron and take it down.
And just to add insult to injury, stop the recall from Tien. The Baron will go down. There's no contest to be had. And this just puts all of the win conditions of Weibo into utter disrepute. The only way that they...
Light is very susceptible to just eating a ton of damage from Cream, or just getting outranged by Jackie Love, specifically. And so it's been really tough for him to play these fights, even though he's 2-1-3 and is the primary carry for this Weibo competition.
Yeah, it's just he's not particularly set up, right? You've talked about it there, and it's exactly right that he's just going to struggle. He's going to get poked out. That's 2 Mystic shots, and he's half HP. Now, he does have Blade of the Ruin King, so there's a little bit of sustain if he can auto-attack, but that's always been the question. Gets a couple of autos, and with a little bit of poke that they've been able to put out, that's the base broken open.
And Breathe was taking a red buff on the other side of the map. He's not with the team at the moment. He's, again, their strongest, their richest player, as it should be this bot lane inhibitor going down. Just a couple of more auto attacks, a couple more shots from this cannon minion. And now they can turn their sights into mid. Tier 3 taken down by Kanavi alone. Breathe is still up at the top side. And now Top Esports can just maybe just go for the end at this point, as long as this Yorick isn't there. 369 around to make sure that there is no chance for a backdoor, as now the fight begins in earnest. Here's the Grand Starfall. They're going to try to lock down Jackie Love, but Tien is too far away. He tried to dive onto him, but every one of his team is going to fall before they can even reach the Ezreal. And Jackie Love still won't die. He picks up 2 kills for himself off the back end of things. And Breathe goes down on the backside just as he arrives back in base. A clinical 30-minute win for Top Esports over Weibo as they continue their dominance and split 2 of the LPL.
And game number 1, Top Esports, they are back in form. There was a shaky start here. Weibo had a couple thousand gold lead at some stage, but make him hit that wall instead of any of your carries. There are a lot of uses here that this Trundle is going to have. You can also reposition Yone ulti if you time it perfectly. Walks up, takes his Raptors, and then immediately bails, goes back down to his bot side. And overall, it looks like they're going to end up with a matched clear. So both of them are going to end up with 6 camps apiece. But again, this is tricky, but possible. If Sion dies and the big wave goes down, they'd be happy to take the 1-for-1.
369 taking a lot of damage. That Decimating Science did not find the knockup, but at least chunks out some DPS. It's Tien holding the wave and now going for the fight. He hits level 3, but the damage might just be too much. The shield is big, though. It forces Tien to flash and he will go down in a 1-for-1 trade, but you will take that if you're Weibo Gaming. That's first blood going over to them.
Yeah, and a lot of minions going to be lost under this turret. Yes, there's a TP to come in, but
Weibo do know about it, but they're losing push in both mid and bot lane.
Yeah, okay, engaged again.
Trying to fight their way through. And they've already had the Ignite on top of Light. They peel away from the Dragon now, are top.
Jackie
and that means that Kanavi is here to try to join this fight in a 3v3. Going to chop up Tien, slow him down. Already the health bars are low on Weibo's side, but they're getting chunked really back down on the other side of things as well. As Jackie lives down at 300. Light actually has the XP advantage now in this situation. The Flow comes through, but he gets eaten by a hook. He'll be able to take down Jackie Love, and the Aqua Prison will allow for Weibo to win the fight down bot.
And the wave's going to be lost under that turret as well. A massive turn of events, and it's Light stepping up for Weibo once again. That bot lane with, or into that bot lane with the components of the Essence Reaver, a lot of flat AD, so a quick poke of a piercing light through a minion is going to do some big damage as well as Cream forcing Xiaohu out of the lane there. If that damage should have stuck, might have possibly been able to flash forward, find a kill. Not pushing that wave, but even still, currently Weibo once again off to a very good start. We need to see them continue with this though. They've got a very powerful AD carry now in Light, but Kanavi fancies 2v2.
On though by 369. All out comes through. Light's going to be in melee range of the Cassante, which is never a good sign. He dashes with the pillar though, and allows for Tien to come in and save the play. Going for another stun on a 369. He's going to have to dash away and will survive, but it's already a kill going towards Weibo on the top side. And they're looking for something down bottom too, as Jackie Love and Chris are unable to complete the dive on a Xiaohu.
They slow play this, and now there's a massive Scion coming in to clean up Weibo. They're not stopping.
A flash. Oh, the combo is just pure from Breathe. And Jackie Love goes down for the second time. They're looking for the redive on a 369. Weibo Gaming are up 6-1. Have some pretty good games on this Azir in the past, so hopeful if you are top esports that you can play around your young, your newer mid laner in this situation. It's already starting off pretty well. There's the Emperor's Divide, and as we say it, Cream picks up a big shutdown over Tien.
Crisp is playing that fight beautifully, by the way. Finds the hook and immediately walks to block the Arctic Assault over the wall. Hasn't allowed for any sort of struggles in their laning phase. This now bleeds into the Dragon going down, and where Weibo should be looking to contest this because they're 2k gold to the good, with their jungler just dying, they're not able to.
2 in a row for top esports. Again, it's Weibo that have the gold advantage. Weibo that have been able to find these skirmishes, but just that one play that was set up by Cream. Navi helping out a little bit too, but really allowing for top esports to get back into this one a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, this is currently
the more important route matters, which is here in the mid lane, where that tier 1 is getting tried to take down by Weibo.
Yeah, I mean, they might be able to take this with the grubs, to be fair. There goes the ulti.
Immediately onto Kanavi, the calling doing a lot of damage as well, but Kanavi's able to pop the ulti in time, and now it is Xiaohu getting singled out and taken down by Cream underneath the tier 1 turret. Another one over to the Azir.
So the question is now, can Weibo take this tier 1 in the mid lane? Because Weibo committed a lot of resources into this mid lane, didn't find anything for it. They need to get some sort of payoff because they lost their top side. They lost out on Xiaohu here, and that has just been interrupted. Cream.
Tien, make sure that dash does not allow Cream to go over the wall. Now, not a lot of cooldowns available, so they're going to have to try to fight this out 1v1. He takes a tower shot, and that is going to seal his fate. Tien getting his revenge on the last time around, as now on the bot side, it will be Breathe falling as Kanavi and 369 will escape by the slimmest of margins.
Quite clean on the side lanes here from top esports. A really good response from Tien though, as he does take down the Azir, stops Cream from snowballing even further. Unstoppable Onslaught to just walk away, so a couple of good plays across the map. It's Weibo finding a lot of purchase in their jungle and their bot lane, but losing out on those side lanes. So the splitting of the map, the reallocation of resources, and putting gold firmly into Cream's hands.
As Rift Herald has been spawned on the bottom side, Breeze doing his best weak side duties up on the top lane, as he knows the rest of his team's able to get a lot of value here. The Glacial Prison just locking down Christmas. Now Light is looking for the kill onto Kanavi. The calling comes out. He's taking all the bullets into the back of the troll, but he's not able to take him down all the way to full. Instead, their target turns towards the tier 1. A nice Azir ulti from Cream, but he is going to get shut down as Tien picks up his 5th kill of the game, and Christmas the next target. A big win for Weibo Gaming on the bot side.
2-for-0 down bot lane, and it's more gold into Light, it's more gold into Tien, this 2-man band turret also. and they're taking down Cream. That one person on Top Esports who we'd highlighted might be able to come alive in this fight. And in this game, they're constantly putting him down. He was 2-0, now 2-2. However, unfortunately not the case. A little bit of shadowing now from Chris, from Kanavi, as they do try to get a little bit of gold back onto that Azir. And Tier 1 turret will be claimed.
Top Esports continually understanding the win condition, understanding the assignment. They know that Cream is the furthest, the strongest champion
that they want, so this is the time to do it. Chris leading the charge. There's a TP from behind.
The Top Esports want to fight even though they know the Otacon's going to go over. It's a teleport in from the Cassante, but all 5 members of Weibo are grouped up as 5. Breathe taking a lot of damage, but he's a tanky side. He can afford the DPS to be utilized against him. Here comes the Fate Sealed. It knocks up 2, but a nice Emperor's Divide is going to keep Cream safe. First casualty is in onto Chris, and now Jackie Love can pop off. They find the shutdown onto the Sejuani, and Top Esports can look for the fight. The Pillar buying so much space as Top Esports now playing around that brush control. Zhao trying to dish a little bit more damage out. There comes that Dinner Bell. Breathe looking to try to knock down Cream.
Look at Jackie!
But Jackie Love pops the hell off, diving straight into the back line and picking up the ace for TES.
And once again, Grapes, Top Esports come alive in a 5v5. Harvey and 369, they're playing it exceptionally as well. And all 4 members that stayed up were able to take down to get a part of this fight. But Cream's buffer on the ulti puts Xiaohu out of this fight. Tien as well just takes a little too much damage. And Light's never able to get access to that backline.
We're just a couple of minutes ago, and they are feeling themselves right now. They're
Cream.
looking for yet another fight as the teleport comes in for Cream. Oh, he dives
no.
straight into the knockup though, and that could be disastrous as Light will take him down with a culling. Breathe, gonna be the one to finish off here in a trade as 369 is looking for the rest of Weibo's bot lane. It will be just that 1-for-1.
Weibo, they're gonna be first to the play. Cream with no TP. The rest of Top Esports nowhere to be found. Quick little pick up for them. That's 2 Infernal Dragons now.
So Weibo, they're not going to go quietly here, Rude, even though they got aced around that Otacon.
Breathe though, he just walks up, accepts his own demise. There's a world where if he doesn't do that, Jackie Love's dead!
We're going to have to go back and see how that just happened, because that is a big 2 kills set up here by Weibo Gaming. Light picking up a double kill. They could potentially look for more. 369 is now stunned up, but here comes Kanavi. Cream now on the retreat as well. The culling buying so much space. It forces 369 to half.
Farm like that, nor the vision. Now Weibo, they transition this not just into 2 kills, but an attempt at a Baron.
It's gonna have to be Cream and Kanavi. Can Kanavi get into the pit? He's just the trundle. He does not have the flash. The Baron will belong to Weibo Gaming. And now they're fighting in a 5v3. Arctic Assault lands onto Cream. He is able to dash on out with the shifting sands.
And they should be looking to take down those structures, get more gold in their pocket.
And Top Esports are looking for some sort of response, but look at Tien once again coming up clutch, finding the ultimate onto Cream, forcing the Azir to flash away, but they're still underneath the tier 2 tower, and 369 has found a flank. They go all out, but another really nice bubble coming through Mara is going to slow down the assault, and there comes that choo-choo train.
What's Cream doing?
The tower is able to find a couple of kills. The tier 2 goes down, and now it's a 3v3 across the map. Jackie Love still alive and at full HP, as Chris was able to find himself a couple on the back end of things here. Light is still strong. They still have the Baron buff in their hands. They're trying to siege onto this tier 3, break open the base of Top Esports, and Weibo are going to be able to accomplish just that.
Unfortunately, there's just more damage potential from Weibo at this stage. Kanavi can't get in without Subjugate. The hook from the Nautilus is a one-way trip if it's not onto the right target.
No longer in that indomitable position where he can really 1v9 a fight, as Weibo, their wallets are starting to pay dividends here with the taking of this tier 2 turret in both mid and bot lane. It's going to expand that lead to about 4,000. And Cream is on the other side of the map looking for some sort of trade onto the enemy tier 3 turret in the top lane. Kanavi going to blast cone over, and it might be a bit of a base race here as Xiaohu is the only one here to defend and will not be able to win this one 1v2. The Baron buff no longer in the hands of Weibo, so they cannot use the accelerator resets, and it results in that tower going down.
Yes, they probably give the Dragon for this, right? 20 seconds on that, and Kanavi and Cream are on the complete wrong side of the map. And we're getting to the point now where actually, you know, we were looking at maybe it being 30-35 minutes, the time that Weibo needed to have rounded this game out. And honestly, that may not have happened just yet.
Giving them the most favorable matchup in that play-in stage. Now here we see Cream eventually caught out. Here comes the teleport in from the
coming.
Xiao going to try to join the fight. Everybody's in onto the Azir, and that crowd control chain is massive, and it results in Cream dying once again alone.
Yeah, I mean, they burned the TP from Xiaohu, the ulti as well. It looks like for all the world that Tian might have won that 1v1, to be completely honest with you. So again, they have to give it up. Kanavi needs to run to this Baron. 369 needs to get here.
It might just be gone. Kanavi's going to try to flash over the wall. He's going to use the blast cone. Who's going to get it?
No way!
Snail! Kanavi just yeets it away from Weibo Gaming, and now they can look for the fight. Tian's very low, but they already get the kill on a Crisp, and now Top Esports are on the run. Here comes the unstoppable onslaught. It's going to be blocked here by 369's Pathmaker, and they'll be able to get on out, but it's a 5v4 opened up for Weibo, despite the Baron being stolen by Kanavi.
And they need to make sure that Jackie doesn't get picked here.
There's a death rush or a death area set up really nicely here by Tian. He's going to go and only land that Glacial Prison onto Kanavi, but the Trundle is down. That's a mini smash lands onto 2. Weibo Gaming might have found the engagement they need as Cream was not there in time, but Jackie Love's still at full HP. And there's the shuffle we were looking for from Cream. It takes down Era. Breed dies as well, and Top Esports are going to win the fight with Baron in their hands.
A 5v5 once again. Top Esports come up trumps Weibo. They commit so hard for Kanavi. They don't find Jackie Love, who just flashes out to safety and then immediately turns and delivers. 35 minutes into this game, Baron at their backs and 30-second death timers. Top Esports might want the series here and now.
It's going to be up to Tian. He's the strongest member in the game here for Weibo, but will it be enough against his old team? His job is to clear the wave, but he will be unsuccessful in the mission. That's an ace picked up for Top Esports, and with their backs against the wall in game 2, they somehow find a way to come back. It's off of Jackie Love. It's off of Cream, but it's most importantly off of Kanavi to steal that Baron, and it's going to be a 2-0 for Top Esports as they jump up to 14-2. Because all of JDG is basically designed to make this Ezreal feel very bad about himself. You have the cease and desist from Shun, a lot of long-range crowd control from both Pays and Ala. I feel like a lot of it is to just try to assassinate the backline. See if Beishuan does commit to this dive alongside the rest of his bot lane. As Shun is here, however, he is channeling a reset. So it might actually not go for that full commitment as, oh my goodness, it's going to be Knight just picking up first blood. And the minions might not take him down either. He shoves them away with his W and will survive with a kill in his hand for JDG. But BLG know this. They want to actually start the aggression, this time onto the Ornn, who still does not have that ulti for the next couple of seconds. The dragon goes down, but it's going to come at the cost of the Ornn falling as Knight makes it 2-0 BLG.
Yeah, really solid stuff and great tanking from On as well on that top side, using the Unbreakable to block some of the damage. Now Jun here, level 6 versus Bin.
That ball breaker, here comes the curtain call as well. Cease and desist everything thrown here at the Rumble, and it will result in that trade being executed. So JDG able to get one back, and it's on to Bin.
Yeah, now Pays will be able to benefit by taking a full plate for himself. Just kidding. He elects to go for a very quick recall. But nice little pickup there. Drake and a kill for Hera and for Void Grubs and a kill. Top laners getting left out in the lurch a little bit here. And I think that this is a really accurate representation of what happens in these lane swaps. If we take a look just individually, very quickly onto your carries as Elk looking for a channeling recall. Expect to see that Trinity Force picked up.
How much money do you have, Elk?
Not enough.
Not nearly. We didn't even get the full each.
Shun?
Okay, here comes the trade on the bottom side as looks like Jun actually takes down Bin on the top side of things. We're still looking at this bot lane play though, as Ala pops the Call to Forge God. Knight has no mana, and Ala whiffs the R button. And that's going to be disaster here for JDG as 2 more kills go on to the Talia.
Well, guess who's the strong member of BLG this game, Grapes? I think Knight might be the one that we have to see carry the rest of BLG across the line versus an unstacked tier and Source and Lucidity boot. So Knight might have these 4 kills, but in terms of actual combat power, well, we'll see right now.
It looks like it does enough to force the ultimate coming out from Scout. And they can go right back to the scene of the crime here. JDG on to Bin once again, who's going to end this skirmish 0-3-0 as Shun will pick up yet another kill. He's 3-0 now.
And honestly, keeping Scout at least somewhat relevant in this game.
I want to get into the mind of like an LPL support player. Like, what does On have to benefit for doing that? Like, we're just having some fun. Speaking of fun, it looks like Shin is having some onto Elk too, forcing him to Arcane Shift underneath the tier 1 turret. Riptail being started up here by JDG. They want to try to control another objective for themselves as they're currently behind on the Pizza Monsters playing. And it will be secured by Shun, even though that True Shot Barrage comes over. And so JD Gaming getting themselves a little bit closer to maybe getting themselves in position here. I want to correct myself. It actually already is defeated strength being collected by BLG. But as I say that, JDG still in a position to try to take over this game as Knight the 4-0 Talia will go down. The Scout finds the mark and forces Beishuan to go and flash away. He's now stuck in a really bad position as Shun's going to pin a kill number 4. And now on the bot side of things, it's been getting targeted. JD Gaming winning on both sides of the map.
And just destroying BLG with no response at all. Knight gets taken down, Beishuan unable to do anything. They look at the bot side, Bin's getting collapsed on for the 4th time this game. And what's Elkanon doing? They didn't take the turret mid lane. They weren't really able to push anything out.
Which lock yourselves automatic bursts into the postseason. You see that dragon now spawning up, and it looks like BLG want to start the fight. They land the Glacier Prison only on the Shun though, and Missing goes in to try to stall things out. Shun looking for Elk, but he's able to arcane shift away. The Searing Charge finds 2, and JDG and Scout are looking to pop off here. Equalizer comes over the top, all out, unable to find anything as it gets blocked by the Unbreakable of On, but it's still going to be Beishuan in a terrible position, and BLG on the run as the dragon will go JDG's way.
So 1 for 1 here, all told for BLG. They'll probably be happy that they find a kill and don't lose out on really anybody other than Beishuan. Picking up Missing there, taking that kill. They don't really claim any of the shutdowns either, so it's still JDG coming away with the advantage in that by, you know, marked international success for JDG. For BLG, not quite that same success. But these are your heavyweight titans of the LPL from previous years going head to head. They've not found that same success this year, but they need to here.
The Otacon has been started by JD. Remember, they take it slow. However, it's at 4,000 health, and Beishuan's already at 40% HP. Going to be very tough for him to get in the pit and try to pick up a steal. Unbreakable will already pop by Missing as he's buying a lot of space. The Otacon going over to JDG, and now they can begin the fight in earnest. The Equalizer is going to force Pays and the rest of JDG on out as the Weaver's Wall comes through from Knight, but it's not enough damage to take down anybody just yet. Missing at 100 HP, he's going to live as the sacrifice will be Alla, but the price that they'll pay is the Otacon going over to JD Gaming.
It's going to take a few people to try and knock this down. They don't have a mid-wave to work with. In fact, they're losing one. Now they're losing Beishuan.
Wow, Shun, that was blind, by the way, into the Tri-Brush, and it allows for Beishuan to go down. Now Pays, with that 4th shot, gets hit up with the block of On.
Scout just, you know, charged with the ulti and tried to find any of the frontliners there because he is so strong.
Oh, there they go by Ari immediately onto Elk, and the Ezreal is down for the count. 2-man pull from Missing as it finds Knight. The Equalizer comes out though, and it's a big shutdown that finds Shun. It is Beishuan to pick up the 1K and put it in his back pocket, but the rest of the fight is going to go JD Gaming's way. Scout and Pays pop off, and it's Bin and Knight still on the run. Seismic shove finds onto Missing, but the curtain call has been opened up. Weaver's Wall will be able to get Knight away after popping the Seraph shield, and JDG are going to pick up this mid-tier 2 and go right back to try to claim this Infernal Soul Point.
Really, that 1,000 gold off of Jun's head, and the Dragon will go down as well. True Shot Barrage is going to be too early. The rest of JDG, I'm happy with where they are at the minute. 3-1 in that fight, pathing and mapping his movements themselves.
Oh,
and they found it again.
Elk for the 2nd time, and that flash is still off of cooldown, baby. Another Searing Charge does connect here, as it looks like the rest of JDG could be in some trouble. The Seismic Shove lands on the Shun. Alla finally arriving, knocking up 1. Bin is very low, but Knight is still full HP until he gets hit up by the Ornhorn, and JDG now going to try to finish off this fight. Deadly Flourish dodges away from Knight's doing his damnedest to try to save this game. But JDG have already picked up 3 members. They're looking for another one. Pays flashes forward. The 4th shot is going to be able to do it. And they will be able to take down all but On.
They've lost so much ground in this game because of it, and now Jun's sniping around again, looking for these fights. They didn't quite have Alla with them. Didn't feel confident to go for it. But I mean, looking at just how the difference in these carries is at the minute. Scout a level up overnight. Bin down 2 levels on Alla. Elk down a level on Pays. On. Careful, everybody down, Missing.
Now here comes Missing. The better support play is a 2-man knockup so far. The Equalizer coming out and separating a little bit here for JDG, but Beishuan is getting targeted, and Scouts force the Spirit Rush away. Here comes that curtain call. Pays has the opportunity to do a lot of damage. Who is that 4-shot going to find? Not anybody here, as Shun's now going to go down, and Elk still has the opportunity to dash forward, finally using that a flash, and it's going to be used to try to burn down JD Gaming. Knight goes through the Weaver's wall. Scout and LR very low.
Look at Pays.
Pays doing his best. He finds the 4-shot onto Elk, and it's going to allow for Knight to get the kill too. Pays finding everyone on Bilibili, and only On will survive, as the Baron could be on the menu.
Take him out of this fight as well. They're fighting on live.
Unbelievable play by the backline carries, and we just gotta go into another team fight here. His base one has gotten stunned up. He's using the audacious charge forward, and the Dragon is being tagged. Now JDG can claim themselves the Infernal Soul if they land the final hit onto the Drake. Call the Forge God going to be used. It finds both the backline carries and Scouts on the backline. We're gonna try to finish off this team fight. Searing Charge has connected on the Knight. The flash forward from Scout, and there comes the curtain call, baby. It's JD Gaming getting the soul, getting the fight. They're looking on to Elk. The season assist combined with the Deadly Flourish will find it, and that'll do it. JDG are gonna march into the base and take game one over Bilibili.
And it took them 30 minutes to do it, Grapes. It took them 2 solid team fights and 3 crucial picks onto Elk. But they find game number 1. The Drake Soul at their backs. Game 1 goes to JDG.
And on the back of it, the biggest player here, 10-0-10 for Pays' Jhin, as that was a 10 out of 10. A masterpiece here for one of the best players we have in the LPL. Is JDG up 1-0.
Yeah, like they've picked 4 divers here. I mean, 5 divers. Annie doesn't want to play defensive. 5 divers versus Renata, Victor. Insta-rush those tier 2 boots. Martial cadence means that Kalista can now hop a lot more, and Arla now looking for a bit of a fight bot lane.
Throws out the Grandmaster's Might. The Maiden is helping out Bin. It's a 1.5v1, but right now that is good odds for the Yorick, as now in the mid lane, it is Knight going too far, and Shun picking up first blood for JDG. BLG on the top side are going to start up these grubs. We'll see if Shun wants to go in with the Grand Starfall to try to steal one of these away, or if he's instead going to focus on clearing out his camps with Pays and missing one to head back to base.
Yeah, and Scout also just recalled into that mid lane, so not really the power on this top side to try and fight the individual laning advantages that BLG have found so far are proving to be enough to bleed into now these neutral objectives, as BLG swapped up to this top side to secure grubs, which is going to be the Yorick quintessential moment where you want your Yorick to have grubs so that he can side lane more effectively, can take these turrets. They're the ones that are going to take this for themselves, and now looking potentially on tonight. Remember, he's got Merc, so CC is a little bit weak.
But doesn't have a flash. Missing. Almost had the cocoon. And now with the repel up, actually putting himself in some danger, as Knight doesn't have a lot of
Scout's
items,
got
but
flash.
Still has some base damages. But Knight, remember, is flashless, and there goes Shun, there goes Tibbers, and that's another kill picked up for the JDG jungler.
And it's just so disappointing
that once Shun dashes in, it's just too much DPS from Bin to make anything happen. Oh, Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Force is missing to use the repel, but now he gets flashed upon. Handshake, how you doing, man? As there goes the hostile takeover, and missing is taken down, and Bin collects the gold. They're looking for Ala as he's forced to flash away, and Shun is now trying to clear out this wave to make sure he cannot get dove.
And that is what we're after. The second BLG start to play together, they make these fights look easy. Jun now going to die. There's a TP in.
Yeah, the Impale already used. It's on to the Pantheon in a 1v4 situation. Not going to go well, as Bin gets kill number 2 for himself, as the mid laner's dueling it out a little bit. Scout flashes in. Oh, he finds the combo as Knight dies for the 3rd time this game.
Maybe the Herald is going to be that window where JDG looks to find it. Malignance even picked up for Scout. Pays still not with that Blade of the Ruin King just yet, so he's not going to be popping off in these team fights just yet. Jun caught in the cage. Yeah,
and there goes a 2-man Impale. Everybody caught in the crowd control chamber as the hostile takeover goes on to missing, and Bin will smite him down with a shovel. It's a double kill picked up for the Yorick, and he is very strong here in this game. Has all 4 kills for Bilibili Gaming. They're going to get the Rift Herald as well.
Yeah, he's digging graves left, right, and center right now for BLG, just tearing JDG to shreds. Second he finds a target, they get taken down, and this combo of Skarner and Arta, we've seen it a couple of times in the LPL already, but BLG seem to be nailing it time and time again. Beichuan holds them in place, the hostile takeover keeps them rooted for another couple of seconds, and it's more and more power going the way of BLG. They fought that game one, Steam, to be honest, just ulting like that.
Gonna result in JDG getting a dragon potentially here, as there goes a Cocoon. They've found the pick onto On, but it's just onto the support. They send Missing forward and it forces Elk to flash away, but now the volleys can't come through, and the kiting can start to be used in response. Bin coming in with the TP, or just running into this dragon pit, is gonna get stunned up and taken down by Shun. JD Gaming somehow able to secure themselves the dragon and a fight.
And this is what we were saying, that this is their time to do it, right? They're on such a fine window. Really impressive. Elk actually getting a good flash over the wall is also very important. And look at live, though.
Oh, that is just Elk going down. Remember, he used his flash in the last fight. Shun forcing On to flash away. And now BLG could be in some trouble. Bin has to flash out. There goes Scout with the Incinerate. This bailout is not going to be able to save the Yorick, as Ala goes for the flash.
That's
it's three more kills for JDG.
And Knight now, the one standing under this turret. Beichuan still there, still lurking to try and help him out, but Ala's on a flank, Scout's on another.
Scout finds the Timbers. It's on to Knight. That's another one. It's going to be an ace picked up for Bilibili. Or onto Bilibili.
A 5-4-0, and JDG come alive off of one Drake fight. They turn the entire game back around. Jun being bought into BLG to try to save their season at some point, and then not getting a spot on that same team for the next year, going back and saying, you should have kept me, you should have fought harder for my contract, and you should have looked to keep me on your roster. This is exactly why.
Solo Q Predictor really thinks that their home team has the advantage here. It makes sense. That's the scaling or the snowballing composition. You're 3,000 gold up for 20 minutes.
Items in favor of JDG, and this is another fight that they're going to want to take, and another one where Scout, no flash just yet, sort of 20-30 seconds left on that summoner spell. That's the big ticket hitter.
I mean, if you're BLG, you want to try to stall this game out as long as possible, but if this Otacon goes over, it might be a deficit that could be pretty hard to come back from, and it already is at this point.
Ala?
They're going to try to lock down Ala, as here comes the Grand Starfall. The hostile takeover is big. Ala goes down, and the shutdown goes the way of the victor. A two-man impale, but Pays is still going to survive, but finally
Elk
gets taken down by Elk as he gets saved by the bailout. Scout is down, and somehow BLG answer right back. They'll get themselves an ace, and the Uni-Reverse card will find a quadra kill in the night.
And the victor, who's been destroyed this entire game, put in the dirt. 0-4-2 before this fight, tears JDG to shreds. A complete switch up from the fights previously.
Is barely able to survive his Elk. That bailout buying so much time, allowing Elk to do so much damage on the Ashe as well.
BLG won, and that Beichuan has been able to find. Fight over this red buff could happen though. Here we go.
Oh, wow. Take a look at Shun. He might have dove way too far. Here he's forced to flash away. The hostile takeover. It finds 4 people. That bought so much time.
Though.
But now all in the back line. They find a 4-man knockup with a Fate's Call. And missing might have just helped BLG
bail out.
Go meet their
Elk's
doom.
dead.
It's 3 for nothing. Back and forth we go. Get on the seesaw, baby. This is the LPL. Ala finds the stunner tonight. He's forced to go golden, but he will die all the same. It is Baron picked up for JDG.
And after On lands the massive hostile takeover, Ala splits up BLG and single-handedly carries that fight. Scout immediately down to the bot lane. They want more than just the Baron from this Grapes. They're going to take turrets bot lane, look to push mid lane, push out top side as well. JDG, they know that the game is in their hands and they are looking to put it to bed.
This is going to be one of the craziest gold graphs that we have seen this split, and we cover the LPL. That is just how wild this game has been. So they want to make sure they put themselves at a gold lead that is insurmountable here off of this power play that lasts for 90 seconds longer. They can find it onto On. They land the stun. Land the Timbers. It's Scout that finds it, and the support for BLG is down for the count.
And now they've got no disengage tools, right? That Impale can do a good job at keeping people at bay.
Over the wall for the 2-man stun. Here comes the Grand Starfall. They're going onto the back line. They find the Impale, and it will be the Pantheon getting shut down as Elk picks up a big chunk of cash.
Power that this Scout has he can give a pretty big shield over to the Kalista. They turn around, they find Soul Point. Grapes, if you ask JDG what they wanted from this Baron, they'd have said the game. See this, and now they know that they're routed.
This team composition is meant to disengage, but they're going to have a tough task at doing that as here comes the solo laners. There's a nice counter strike from Ala, but everybody on BLG still alive. Bayless onto Elk, but he will go down. The hostile takeover finds 3, but it's nobody on BLG that can do any significant damage. On will go down. Beishwan's already fallen. It is just Knight standing. He teleports back to the base, and that is exactly where JDG intend to head. Eventually ending here, as it is Pays missing and Ala hitting onto this bot lane inhibitor. There's 10 seconds on the top side, 5 seconds on Elk. So the BM was just to buy some time to make sure Knight could not rotate down. So it's only 1 inhibitor taken off of that play, and they used a lot of teleports to use a lot of resources for it.
He can do in that situation. A handshake earlier might have been a better. Ala again!
Ala again looking for Elk as the Ashe is already at half
Stasis.
HP. In a lot of trouble. Hostile takeover. It doesn't find the Jax. And there goes Ala onto the back line. Grand Starfall coming in as BLG are cut off in their own jungle. It's going to be Beishwan stunned up as he's fighting a 3v1 that he certainly does not win. Ala somehow still alive, but he gets shut down as it's the Victor to pick up the kill. Knight flashing over the wall. Somehow BLG still has some life, but here comes Pays. Pays gets himself another, but Pays will go down to Knight. What a game this has been. It has been who's going to try to pick up the ace. Sean on the Pantheon will not have his Guardian Angel pop. The Comet Spear not finding the crit. What a game. It is just a one-man army that is standing for both JDG and Bilibili. With BLG starting this dragon up first. Remember, you saw how low those health bars were. A Chemtech Soul would be absolutely massive if you're JDG, but Shun is getting singled out right now, and there comes a ton of damage onto the back line. Knight has fully scaled up here, but here comes Ala. He gets handshaked away. On doesn't find the stun, but the Fate's Call comes through. There comes all the damage that JDG need. Elk is going to die. Beishwan is dead as well. Knight's able to find something, but now it's been stuck in a 1v3. Can the Yorick find a miracle play to save the game for BLG? Absolutely not. 4 strong are JDG with an ace picked up. They're going to march into the mid lane and give BLG their first loss of the second round robin of the LPL.
A second teleport from Ala to put BLG in the dirt. Pays stand strong and JDG take the series.
3 straight series here for JD Gaming. They are peaking at absolutely the right time as the win streak is over. The honeymoon is over. JD Gaming get the 2-0 over BLG.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.